Hello and welcome. My name is Anthony Ibbitson. I play for Leeds Chess Club, and here's a game I played against Tim Hill in October 2007. Tim was graded 121, I was graded 97. I had the white pieces. I'll just show you the opening moves from this game. So here we have a mainline Queen's Indian defence. G3. This is usually only played at the top level, but it is becoming more popular now at club level. This is a line that I also play as black. When I get the chance to play Queen's Indian. Black chooses an unusual move here, which is quite interesting. I'd normally play a5 in this position. Black chooses Queen e7, which is the last book move, I believe. A3, leaving the book. Yeah. I didn't really want to play knight c3 with the bishop on b4 in this position, so it forced the exchange of queens. This is still okay, and I decided to play this position as white. In the style of Aaron Nimzovich, or possibly even Botvinnik. My idea was basically to play for the control of the e4 square, which is quite critical in this kind of position, especially with the dark squared bishop and the long diagonal pointing down on the e4 square. So play Queen c2. Desperately trying now to prevent white controlling e4. So here we are, we've got e4 in. That's the first goal of this position complete. And now black chooses to offer the chance to close the centre, which I'm more than happy to accept. Being a big fan of knights and also a French player as black, I'm very happy with these kind of positions. It's similar, I suppose, to what you would see in the King's Indian as well. I'm not entirely sure now why I played knight h4. It's over a year ago now since I played this game. I remember playing this move by accident. I did have a plan, and then I decided that plan didn't suit the position anymore, which you need to try and do as little as possible. But luckily, it worked out. It worked out okay for me. Obviously now, as in a King's Indian position, the pawn chain aimed at the queen side. White's best chance here would be queen side expansion, which is what I decided to go with. Possibly when I played, if we come back a minute, possibly when I played knight h4 in this position, if we look at a different line, I'm wondering maybe I was actually planning on playing something like this. F4. But that would have been quite greedy of me. Obviously white is much better on the queen side here. The centre's closed. And then it's basically trying to control the king side as well. Taking care of it is one thing, but trying to control it is another, when I'm already better on the queen side. I might have been a little overconfident, possibly. So we've got knight b8, and then I suppose the next move for white would be b4, and this is just so greedy of white to aim for this kind of position. So if we take it back to the position we had before, after knight h4, bishop c8 and b4. Right, this is the position that was reached in the game, and it's looking okay for white. It's quite aggressive on the queen side. Black's counterplay isn't going to come right away. It's going to take some time, yet some work. He plays knight b8. Okay, c1. g6. This is obviously just a preparatory move to stop knight f5, but also I imagine it would make a nice square for the knight after, say, knight h5, knight g7, and then you can play f5 with the option of recapturing with the knight on f5. That's an interesting idea. So anyway, I decided to bring this knight back to f3 in the end, not realising the mistake of playing to h4 in the first place. And knight a4. Now we are looking at this c5 break here. White is much quicker on the queen side. So knight df6. Black's knights are coming over to the king side. It's very slow. So I just play f3 here to stop the knight coming in at g4. Just trying my best to hold everything up on this king side. Bishop d7, that was a bit of a pain. Obviously the knight has to come down to b2. It's better on b2 than it is on c3. And white is definitely better. The knight does go into g7 in the end. And the second knight decides to come into b3, which again, obviously bishop d7 was played to force the queen's knight to b2, preventing, well, basically stopping it from eyeing up this c5 advance. But he obviously couldn't prevent it altogether, because now the knight on b3 is looking at c5. So here we go, c5. And this is definitely much better for white than black. So black comes in with ease, break, and white takes, and the queen comes in on c7. So the white pieces now manage to penetrate, control this open file. It's definitely, black has to be careful. Rook takes, and rook to c8. This is a sacrifice. I don't think black. Well, black obviously realised that he was sacrificing a pawn, but I think he was. I think he thought that his attack would be strong enough. I cashed in on this anyway. Bishop b5. Both sides have to be careful here. Black plays queen g5. White has to watch out for this queen here, because there are ways it can sneak into the position and cause a few threats here and there. But I played queen f2, and I offered a draw to Tim. After a little thought, he did take this draw. Quite rightly so. I think white's still better in this position. Thanks for watching. That's my game with Tim Hill.